بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله تعالى عنه قال دخل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مصلاه فرأى ناسا كأنهم يكتشرون. Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu, he says that the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam entered the area of Salah, or the masjid, and saw people that were smiling, laughing, and so on, jovial. The Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said to them, أَمَّا إِنَّكُمْ لَوْ أَكْثَرْتُمْ ذِكْرَ هَذِمِ اللَّذَّاتِ لَشَغَلَكُمْ عَمَّا أَرَى. If you were to bring to mind that thing that savors the pleasures, then you will leave of this which you are so jovial about. فَأَكْثِرُوا مِنْ ذِكْرِ هَذِمِ اللَّذَّاتِ الْمَوْتِ. So therefore, remember a lot, bring to mind a lot, هَذِمُ اللَّذَّاتِ. هَذِمُ اللَّذَّاتِ means death. Remember that you are going to die, or that death is coming. فَإِنَّهُ لَمْ يَأْتِ عَلَى الْقَبْرِ يَوْمٌ إِلَّا تَكَلَّمَ فِيهِ. There is not a day that goes by that the qabr is speaking. فَيَقُولُ أَنَا بَيْتُ الْغُرْبَةِ. And the qabr says, I am the place or the house of loneliness, being estranged. وَأَنَا بَيْتُ الْوَحْدَةِ. And I'm the house of solitude. وَأَنَا بَيْتُ التُّرَابِ. I'm the house of dust. وَأَنَا بَيْتُ الدُّودِ. And I am the house of worms. Worms that eat you. فَإِذَا دُفِنَ الْعَبْدِ الْمُؤْمِنِ قَالَ لَهُ الْقَبْرِ. When a believer is buried, then the qabr then says to that believer, مَرْحَبًا وَأَهْلًا. Welcome and be comfortable. A believer, the qabr says, welcome and to make yourself comfortable. أما إن كنت لأحب من يمشي على ظهري إلي. You are more loved by me than those who walk on me. In other words, who walk on you. The qabr says you are more loved by me for the believing slave than these people that walk on me. فإذا وليتك اليوم وسرت إلي فسترى صنيعي بك. قال فيتسع له مد بصره ويفتح له باب إلى الجنة. Then the qabr then says, you have been entrusted to me and you have been delivered to me, and I want to show you what I have arranged for you. And then that qabr is made wide, so wide as far as the sight can see. You remember when we make dua for a person when they have passed on, we say, oh Allah, make the qabr wide. But did you ever imagine that the qabr is so wide, it's as far as you can see? As far as وَيُفْتَحْ لَهُ بَابٌ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. And the door of the Jannah is opened for that person, so that he or she can see their place in the Jannah. وَإِذَا دُفِنَ الْعَبْدُ الْفَاجِرُ أَوْ الْكَافِرُ. And when a person that is disobedient and evil and a non-believer, قَالَ لَهُ الْقَبْرُ لَا مَرْحَبًا وَلَا أَهْلًا. You're not welcome here, says the qabr to that person. You're not welcome here, and don't get yourself comfortable. May Allah protect you. أما إن كنت لأبغض من يمشي على ظهر الليل. You are the most despicable people from those who have been walking on top of me. You are the most despicable of all of them. فإذا وليتك اليوم وسرت إلي فسترى صنيعي بك. And you have been entrusted to me and delivered to me, and I'm going to show you what has been arranged for you. قال فيلتئم عليه حتى تلتقي عليه وتختلف أضلاعه. Then the cover becomes so tight that it squeezes on the person until it is crushing his ribs already, the way the cover closes in on him. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بأصابعه فأدخل بعضها في جوف بعض. That his ribs, his body is so crushed that the ribs, the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam shows, it goes so in between, into one another. ويقيد الله له 70 تنينا لو أن واحدا منها نفخ في الأرض ما أنبتت شيئا ما بقيت الدنيا. Then appears in front of the person, and wrapping him around the person is 70 snakes, huge, massive serpents, surround themselves around the person. And if one of these snakes were to blow, or you will know that the snake is on the dunya, then all greenery will cease to exist until the end of the dunya. Then all greenery will cease to exist till the end of the dunya. فينهشنه ويخدشنه حتى يفضى به إلى الحساب. Then that snakes that is around the person will chew on the body of that person, and it will feed. The snakes will chew on the body of the person, and they will bite him until the day appears for Hisab. Can you imagine? All that time, that snakes will eat on the person's body and bite on it until the day of Yawm al-Hisab, until the day that the person is brought for reckoning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما القبر روضة من رياض الجنة أو حفرة من حفر النار. That the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says your qabr can be a garden of the gardens of the Jannah, or it can be a pit of the hell, a pit of the fire. Let us take heed to the hadith of the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam as we conduct ourselves on this dunya, because what we do is what we prepare ourselves for that last breath that we had spoken about. Tonight we come to a very important topic, and that subject is the ghusl, the washing of the mayyit. The ghusl is considered wajib and considered fard kifaya. It is a must, and fard kifaya, we all now know, means if some do it, then it falls away from others. And if everybody has done it, if no one has done the ghusl, then Allah Ta'ala will punish everyone or keep everyone responsible for it. Right? But when we speak about shaheed, a shaheed is a person that died in the battle for Islam, for the benefit of Islam, then that person does not get a ghusl. And neither is it even mustahab to give the person a ghusl. روي أحمد أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تغسلوهم فإن كل جرح وكل دم يفوح مسكا يوم القيامة. The Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said that those who die in battle and shaheed for the deen of Allah Ta'ala, Says the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, do not ghusl them, because every injury where the blood is flowing from and gushing from, it will be smelling like musk on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. But then you get other types of shaheed also. A person that is burnt, a person that is drowned, a person that defends his house and then gets killed, and so on and so on. Or a woman that gives birth and she dies at birth because of the birth is also considered a shaheeda. So what do we do in terms of them? In terms of these type of shaheed, says the ulama, whether the person has been burned, whether the person has drowned, or whether the person has fallen off a cliff or a mountain, then these people, then they are given a ghusl. Then they are given a ghusl, even if there's one part of the body that you only find. Even if there's only one part of the body that is found, then that part is given a ghusl, and whether it be an arm or a hand or a leg or a part of the body and so on. And majority of ulama agreed in terms of that. How do we go about doing the ghusl? Briefly, something for. Says the ulama that the thing that you wash the mayyit with is ma'al mutlaq, meaning pure, clean water. Right? And the whole body is then washed off, and the whatever is in the tummy is being cleared off, and whatever najasa is on the body of the person is also washed off. And obviously there's a niyyah to that, and we'll come to that. It is mustahab that the person be placed on a place that is high, meaning like we use a cattle, or the English word that is used is a bier, B-I-E-R, that the person is placed on that. All of that is to ease the ghusl, to make it easier for those that is doing the ghusl. And while the ghusl takes place, the aura or the person's body is covered with a sheet, except if it's a very small child. Also, that the person that washes, that does the ghusl, must be a person that you trust. Just like people, their mouths overrun with the dunya. Unfortunately, sometimes people, they hear things, they can't keep it to themselves. They must share. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? Did you hear this? And Allah Ta'ala speaks about that in the Bible. But worse than that is the person that you are appointed to do a ghusl and see something and go tell others. That person is amongst the worst. That is a person that you cannot trust. For the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, first of all, before I come to the hadith, it's not permissible for a person to speak of what they see, what may be their way of figuring out that something is wrong that they see on the body. It's haram to speak about it. Haram, and we will deal with that inshallah. So the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam then says in the hadith, لَا يَغْسُلْ مَوْتَاكُمْ الْمَأْمُونُونَ. Let the people who's going to wash your dead, let them be people of trust. Let them be people of trust. Because remember, that loved one of yours that is laying there depends on you to protect him. Depends on you to make sure that the person that you're going to bring, or the people that you have there, are people that you can trust. That's going to not speak about what they see. The ghusl is done 3 times with water and soap. You can add a fragrance to the water if you wish. Start with the right hand side, and if it is required, we see that the person is not yet completely clean, then we can go to 3 times or 5 times or 7 times, as long as it's in uneven numbers. And our dalil for that, our proof for that, ففي الصحيح أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال للنسوة اللاتي جئن يغسلن زينب ابنته رضي الله تعالى عنها. Is a group of women has come to do the ghusl of the daughter of the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Zainab radiallahu ta'ala anha. And the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam instructed them, اغسلنها ثلاثا أو خمسا أو سبعا أو أكثر من ذلك إن رأيتن. You wash the body 3 times or 5 times or 7 times or more if you see that there is a need. And after the ghusl, then something nice smelling things is put to the body like camphor and so on, and that is put there. It is generally not required more than the person that does the ghusl is called a ghasil, or the female is the ghasila. Generally not required more than that person and another helper that is in the room to do the ghusl. We don't need to call in the whole family to watch the body that is being washed in. What is required is just that person that does the ghusl, the ghasil, and whoever is the helper. When does that one use tayammum when it comes to a person that has passed on? Says the ulama that you use tayammum for a mayyit, for a person that has passed on, if there's no water around. Or if the body is so torn, if the body is so in such a bad state that if you're going to put water to it, it's going to break the body up more. So therefore tayammum is then used. Or if a person has been in a fire, then you also don't do a ghusl and you do tayammum. Or if a person is a lone man on a journey with only women, or a woman that is on journey with only men. روي أبو داود في مراسيله عن مكحول أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا ماتت المرأة مع الرجال ليس معهم امرأة غيرها، والرجل مع النساء ليس معهن رجل غيره، فإنهما يمممان ويدفنان وهما بمنزلة من لم يجد الماء. That the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, if a female were to pass on and she's in the company of only males, and there's no other woman except her, or a male that is in the company of only female, and there's no other man with her, then you must do tayammum. And they must be buried, because their situation would be like one that has that water is not available. Their situation is like one where water is not available. Now that is the madhab of the Ahnaf, Hanafi madhab, and Al-Hanabila, the Hanbali madhab. Al-Imam Malik and Imam Shaf'i says it is permissible for a woman where the man is her mahram, that the ghusl can take place, because she is like another man as far as mahram is concerned and as far as awra is concerned when they are in privacy. But it is mustahab that the body not be opened up. In other words, the awra is not open. It is kept closed, that the awra is not open. And that a sheet be put on the body and water be thrown on top through the sheet. And that will be preferable. But if there is no mahram, then it is not permissible for a strange man to do the ghusl of a strange woman, or a strange woman, and the opposite as well. That is not permissible. When we speak about a child in terms of ghusl, then it's permissible for a woman to wash the body of a child as long as that child is not considered to be attractive to women. So generally the ulama would say up until 7 years, and not older than that. Up until 7 years a woman can do the ghusl, but not more than that. If the child has reached a state of bulugh, the child is baligh, mukallaf, and it would seem that that child could be an attraction to a woman, then it is not permissible for that woman or any woman to do the ghusl of that child. An interesting topic is, can a woman do the ghusl of her husband, a wife of her husband, and can the husband do the ghusl of the wife? The ulama are all in agreement that it is permissible for a woman to wash her husband, if he is the maiden. Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says, La istakbartu min amri mastadbartu ma ghassala an-nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam illa nisa'u. She says, if I knew what I know now, then none would have washed the body of the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam except his wives. But the ulama differs on whether a husband can wash his wife. Whether a husband can do the ghusl of his wife. Majority of ulama says it's permissible. The Hanafi madhab says it is not permissible. But there is too many dalil, we will get to that inshallah, there's too many proofs that prove that it is permissible for a man to do the ghusl of his wife. And it is also known that Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that he had done the ghusl of Sayyidah Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. It is also narrated by Ibn Majah that the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said to Sayyidah Aisha, لَوْ مُتِّ قَبْلِي لَغَسَلْتُكِ وَدَفَنْتُكِ. That the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had said to Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, if you were to die before me, then I will do your ghusl and I will be the one that buries you. Right? I will be the one that buries you. There is some of the masail that I want to tackle at a later stage, inshallah ta'ala, but I want to come to the shurud where the ghusl is accepted. First of all, the person that does the ghusl must be Muslim. The person that is the ghasil or the ghasila, the female person that does the ghusl is a ghasila and the male is a ghasil. Must be Muslim because it is not permissible for a non-Muslim to do the ghusl. Secondly, what we want to speak about is when a miscarriage has happened or where a child was born and that child was not alive. What happens in terms of a ghusl for that baby? The ulama says, and they have differences of opinion, and I rather want to take you through that differences so that we understand that it is not one opinion that is the only one that counts. The ulama says that if there has been life, then it's permissible. If there is not life, says the Malikiyah, when the child was either born or the child had not completed the term, then it's not permissible to make salah on that child, except if you know that there was life. For example, the child had either been breastfed by the mother, or there was some movement at the time of birth, or you know when a baby, when the child shouts when they are born and so on, or there has been that kind of shouting, even if it was for a moment, then there has been life. And they say that on the hadith of the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, الطفل لا يصلي عليه ولا يرث ولا يورث حتى يستهل. that the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had said that a baby, there's no salah on them, وَلَا يَرِث, they do not inherit, and no one can inherit from them unless there has been that yastahil, that baby shouting when they are born, right? Or crying, or baby crying. The Hanafi madhab says that a child that is born is made salah on, and they inherit, and they can be inherited from, if the child had given that initial crying at the time of the birth. If the child did not do that initial crying or shouting, the child is then given a ghusl and a name is given to the child. If the child was born, completely born, and everything is there of the child, then the ghusl is given. But if that baby is born through a miscarriage, or the child is miscarriage and there's no real form, then there is no ghusl on it. And that child is just poured water on and wrapped up in a cloth. And that child is given a name and buried, and that child is given a name because the child will be raised on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah by that name. The Shafi'i madhab says, if there are signs of movement, then a ghusl must take place. If there is signs of movement, the ghusl must take place, the salah must be done, because of the possibility of life have been there, and to be cautious. And to be cautious. But if there is no signs of life in the Shafi'i madhab, then there's no salah on the child, even if the child is 4 months or more. If there is no life, then there is no salah. If there's been no signs of life, then there is no salah, even if the child had reached 4 months or more, because life had been absent, right? But it is wajib that a ghusl takes place, and a kafan takes place, and a kafan we mean that the body is wrapped, and that the child is buried, right? If the child had been born, there was no life prior to 4 months, then there is no ghusl. Are we clear on that? Should I repeat that? Let's go and repeat it. By the Shafi'i madhab, if there are signs of movement, if there were signs of movement, then that child gets a ghusl, and salah is made on that child, because of that possibility of life had been present, and to be cautious. But if there's no signs of life, no signs of movement, nothing, there's nothing that shows, then there's no salah on that child, even if the child is 4 months or more. Right? Because there is no life. But in that case, the ghusl must still take place, and the kafan must still take place, and the burial must still take place. Right? If the child had been less than 4 months, then there is no ghusl on that child. Is that clear? Right. The last one is the Hanbali madhab. The Hanabila says that when a child that has been miscarried or born not alive and is more than 4 months, then the ghusl and the salah takes place, because of the hadith of the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. The Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, "As-saq yusalli alayhi." A miscarriage or a child has been born dead, that child is made salah on. Right? So that is the different opinions of the different ulama as far as a child that has been either born dead or a miscarriage has taken place. Right? So in summary form, the ulama is in agreement that it is wajib to do a ghusl on a miscarriage where the child had been born and there was movement or there was sound, the child cried or shouted, and there is salah that is performed on it. And if there's no signs of life, then a ghusl and a kafan and the burial takes place by the Hanafi madhab and the Shaf'i madhab. And if the child had reached 4 months by the Shaf'i madhab, then there is no salah on the child. Then when the child is also ghusl and yusalli and salah is performed by the Hanbali madhab, if the child is more than 4 months old. Right? And the Shafi and the Hanbali madhab says that if the child is less than 4 months, then there is no ghusl that is required there. Another issue that I want to cover quickly is the hair of the person. Is it permissible to comb the hair of a person and to cut the nails? Right? The Hanafi and the Maliki madhab says there's no need to comb the hair or to cut off any hair or to cut off any nails, except that if it's broken or that it's cut or broken, or to shave the beard or to cut the beard, or to do a khitan. I can't come to the English word now. What do we do to our boy babies when they are born? Sunat. Give me an English word for that? Circumcision. Circumcision. And no circumcision also takes place if the person is not circumcised. If the person that is the mayyit is laying there, says the Hanafi madhab and the Maliki madhab, you don't need to comb the hair, you cannot cut the nails, you cannot cut the hair, you cannot trim the beard, and you cannot circumcise if the person is not circumcised, because there is no need for that. All that is beauty of the body, and there's no more need for that when the person has passed on. Right? The Shafi'i madhab says it's permissible to comb the person's hair and to make the beard nice, make it look nice, with a comb that's got wide teeth, and that you do it gently, and if anything comes off from it in terms of hair, then you return that to the body. Whatever breaks off, you return it to the body, because these are all form part of the person, of the mayyit. Right? The Hanabila, the Hanbali madhab says that the moustache can be trimmed as long as the person is not in ihram. The nails can be clipped if it's too long, and even the hair under the armpits can also be clipped or cut off, because these are all just reference to nadafah, to cleanliness. So therefore there is nothing wrong if those things are clipped. And in the hadith of Atiyah, she says, يغسل رأس الميت يغسل رأس الميت فَمَا سَقَطَ مِنْ شَعْرِهَا فِي أَيْدِيهِمْ وَصَلُّوهُ ثُمَّ رُدُّوهُ فِي رَأْسِهِ. Atiyah in the hadith says that the hair is washed of the mayyit, and whatever comes off of the hair from it and falls in your hand, wash it off and you return it to the head. Because to bury the hair with the body as well as the nails is mustahab, like it had been part of the person when they were alive. Right, now I want to come to a book that I want to recommend to everybody. And the book that I want to recommend is the book of Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih, Al-Mufidah. The Sheikh goes into detail on exactly how we do here and what we do. And I'm going to read to you what Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih writes, so that we may learn from it. And I also want to encourage everybody, and those that see this video on the Facebook and wherever, to buy the book of Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih. The book is about 60-70 rand, but it will benefit you your whole life. Your whole life. What does Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih say in terms of the mayyit? First of all, Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih says that to light incense sticks, what we call it, miangstokkies, in the room where the person is laid, to give a certain fragrance to the room. That is where the Sheikh starts with, right? If you're going to do the washing of the body, remove all the clothing from the body and cover the body with a sheet. Place the hands on the chest, the right hand on the left hand, and then you inform the family and friends of the death at the time of the Janaza. An important thing that the Sheikh mentions, which we need to do, is to get a death certificate. To get a death certificate from a doctor and to get a death registrar. So what we're going to do further in this course, we will get one of the guys that do death registration, and he will explain the whole procedure, what we do in terms of that, inshallah ta'ala, right? Because that paperwork needs to go with to the maqbara, to the graveyard, where a hole is booked and all of those kind of things he can explain. And Sheikh Amin Faqih even goes to the point in saying, make sure that you make copies of the paperwork that you do, because you're going to need it afterwards. Make sure that you make copies of all of the paperwork. So, what does the Sheikh say in terms of how to wash the dead? Sheikh Muhammad bin Faqih says it is sunnah that the minimum required number of people should be present. Again, the same that we just said earlier on. A minimum number of people should be present in the washing of the person. It should only be the person that washed and those who help. That the washing of that mayyit, of that body, takes place in a secluded place. In other words, not everybody stand and watch on years of ghusl taking place. Right? And it is also recommended that the wali, the legal guardian of the person, should be present at the washing of the male corpse. The male person who undertakes the ghusl is called the ghasil, and the female the ghasil. We have said that the Sheikh says that you burn incense sticks in the room to give a good smell, and make sure, and in bold capital letters the Sheikh writes, make sure there is sufficient washing cloths. Sufficient washing cloths or rags and towels. Normally 6 pieces of cloth the size of a face cloth for the washing of each private part and 3 washing cloths or rags that is cut from the roll of the linen that is commonly called by us calico. See that buckets of water, hot if necessary, are brought in the room, and see that it is placed on something high away from the corpse. And also see that there is enough jugs or beakers to scoop the water with. So you can see the Sheikh is very practical. Goes right into the actual thing that happens right there. Place the corpse on an ablution bier on the cartel or any other similar platform with the feet in the direction of the Qibla, and see that the head section of the cartel or ablution bier is higher than the feet section, so that the water may flow freely from the side or down to the feet. Right? Place your right hand behind the back of the corpse and bend him gently and slowly to a sitting position. So if this was the corpse, then, and this is the feet part, then you're going to lift half of the body up so that the person sits like that. Right? Is that understood? The person sits like that. Press down hard on the stomach in order to just discharge any excrete which may be inside the mayyit, and see that enough water is poured over the sheet at the private parts so that the excrete which may possibly emerge may flow away easily. So in a form of example, if this was a person and the legs is in front, you're going to raise the body and the person sits up, and you're going to press hard on the tummy. And as you press hard on the tummy, somebody is going to throw water to make sure whatever comes out at the back by the anus is going to be washed away. Right? Let the mayyit lie on his back again and repeat the operation 3 times. When the ghazal is finished with the above mentioned procedure, he lets the mayyit lie again on its back. Number 2, wrap a piece of cloth over the left hand, place the hand under the covering sheet and wash the genitals 3 times. That is understood, right? So the person never washes somebody with your bare hands. You always place those cloths that the Sheikh referred to at the beginning. You place it over your hand, make it wet, and you wash the private part of the person in front 3 times. In the case of a female, the washing of the genitals should be done each time with a different piece of cloth. And when the necessity exists, wash more than 3 times, always ending with an uneven number. Always ending with an uneven number. And see that enough water is being thrown over the sheet and the private parts. Wrap a piece of cloth over the left hand and wash the anus exactly as you do in the istinja. Make sure that enough water is being thrown over the sheet at the private parts so that the excrete or dirt that may possibly emerge may flow away, and repeat this procedure 3 times. Each time with a new cloth wrapped over the left hand. At the 3rd washing, the ghazil looks at the cloth, and if it is contaminated with najis or dirt, repeats the washing of the anus each time with a new piece of cloth until it shows clean, and always end with an uneven number. That is clear, right? The ghazil, the person performing the ghusl, must at all times take special care that the deceased private parts are covered. For it is forbidden to leave it uncovered, it is forbidden to look at it, and it is forbidden to touch it. The ghazil then cleanses his hands and takes a wash rag, wraps it over his index finger, and cleanses with it the teeth without opening the mouth. and also cleanse the nostrils. He now goes ahead and gives ablution or wudu to the mayyit. Water should not be let into the mouth while performing the wudu, but the visible parts of the mouth should be washed, and the same applies to the nostrils. When the ghasil comes to the washing of the face while giving wudu, he should make the niyyah in his heart that he is giving wudu to the mayyit, and it is sunnah to recite at the same time the following niyyah. نويت الوضوء عن هذا الميت لله تعالى. نويت الوضوء عن هذا الميت لله تعالى. نويت الوضوء عن هذا الميت لله تعالى. If it's a woman, نويت الوضوء عن هذه الميتة لله تعالى. نويت الوضوء عن هذه الميتة لله تعالى. نويت الوضوء عن هذه الميتة لله تعالى. So it means I intend to give wudu to this male or female corpse for the sake of Allah Ta'ala. After finishing with the wudu or ablution, the ghasil takes a washing cloth and soap and start washing the corpse. He washes first the head, the ears, face and neck, and then washes the right side of the body right down till the right foot, and then the left side right down till the left foot. He then turns the corpse to its left side and washes the right side of the back right down to the right foot. He then turns the corpse to its right side and washes the left side of the body right down till the foot. Then let the body lie on its back and rinse the whole body by pouring water from the head down to the feet, always starting from the right side, as we explained before. Right? In the washing, or make sure that the back of the body was also rinsed, and make sure that the body is free from all soapy particles and foam, and also make sure at the same time that the beard or the cartil is also been rinsed clean from any soapy particles. Number 5, fill a bucket with water and add to it a very small amount of camphor. Rinse the whole body with the camphor and water, and make sure that the water flows over the whole body. Start the rinsing from the head, then with the right side of the body right down to the right foot, then with the left side of the body down to the left foot. Tilt the body to its left side and rinse the right side of the body right down to the right foot. Tilt the body to its right side and rinse the left side of the body right down to the left foot. It is sunnah to perform this procedure of rinsing 3 times. And it is also recommended that the ghasil makes the niyyah that this rinsing is meant for the ghusl of the dead, and the niyyah for the ghasil, for the person doing the ghusl, نويت أداء الغسل عن هذا الميت لله تعالى. For the female, نويت أداء الغسل عن هذه الميتة لله تعالى. It is this rinsing of the body that is most important and obligatory part of the ghusl. All the other washings that was done before it was a sunnah. If a person isn't sure of the amount of camphor to be added, then use just clean water. Number 6, dry the body with a clean towel starting from the head down till the feet. Make sure to dry the cartil at the same time. Cover the body with a dry sheet, comb the hair, and in the case of the female, it is sunnah to braid the hair in 3 plaits. One on each side of the head, and the other in the middle, or placed backwards. Any loose hair must be placed back in the shroud. All that we have mentioned, that which was mentioned in connection with the ghusl of the dead, is the perfect way of doing it, and the simplest manner to perform the ghusl is to pour clean, pure water over the whole body after the removal of the impurities and dirt that exist. That is the words of Sheikh Muhammad Amin Fakir in terms of the ghusl, and you can see that the Sheikh really goes in detail as to the finer parts of that. Inshallah ta'ala, next week we will move towards a kafan, and there is a very beautiful hadith that I'm going to do with you in terms of the kafan, or when a person's kafan is closed, and but we will leave that for next week inshallah ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.